Welcome back to Geekshow Helpdesk,
where we help you.
Love to help you. Oh,
Wow.
I hadn't already said that.
Whoa, look at that. Stereo
Great
thinking,
Mm-hmm.
but out of sync
We're
sound.
we're so in sync mentally. I'm just about 10 seconds behind.
Are you sure it's not your video stream still?
Not sure. Not exactly.
No, I think he looks nice and crisp now. If you're seeing him on YouTube, he looks good. This is the Geek Show Help Desk, where we talk about tech, gadgets, and science-adjacent things. Let's kick it off by introducing our panelists. Down in the corner, each one is in a corner.
I was going to say, we're all in corners.
We're all in,
Not down.
There's only
though.
two. Yeah, there's
down
only
in the
two.
corner. Lando.
It's Lando, your favoriteest podcast host.
Down in the other corner, it's Owen.
Hey, I'm actually the favorite, so
Yeah, true
follow
story.
me. Follow me here. That's it.
Up in the corner, it's Jerry.
Hi, I'm nobody's favorite. That much I've understood over the
That's
last
not true.
6,
Jaron.
7. How long have we been doing? 8 years? Oh my
It's
goodness!
true in my book.
Has it been 8 years?
I think so.
I don't think so.
I don't
No,
play
we'll have to
favorites,
look.
but if I did, it'd be Owen.
Hey.
Well,
I
yeah,
like
that's the point.
Naturally.
I'm the
He's
vanilla.
the favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Everyone
I don't know how
loves
that
Owen.
happens, but
I'm the mustard, which doesn't go well with vanilla at all.
required, Jaron. But required.
Oh, thank you.
But it's good on a hot dog.
And we got a host.
Gotta have a binder.
He's the mustard and the ice cream all at once. He's Tony.
Yuck. Check me out on Twitter at Quad T or on other Geek Show podcasts.
We are off to a resounding great start.
How about you shove it, Lando?
You know what? I think it's Lambo today until you can
Oh,
change your
Lambo!
attitude.
That's right. You shove it,
You-
Lambo.
guys-
Until you can change your attitude,
Nice.
mister.
I'm bringing the energy tonight.
The
I'm trying to
funny
be
thing is
upbeat and happy.
that sounded sincere to me. You guys just dumped on him.
All right. Nobody cares. Do we have any emails?
Yes, we do. Email. He says, "Hello, Geek Show friends. Been loving the gaming and help desk shows for a while. Thank you for the nerdy joy and sarcasm. This question, nay request, is for Tony.
Uh-oh.
What
Great.
must I do to get a copy of that silly soundbite of the Kerry Jackson doody leedy?
Oh, do you mean this one?
So crisp. That is so crisp. I love that. Every time.
I'd be willing to purchase it with proceeds going to help Lee out. I need this in all caps as a ringtone or message tone, or just give me a moment of joy. It's amazing and it makes me giggle.
Oh, my
Jarrett
gosh.
of the Greenwood."
Let me see what I can do about putting that out there for people to use, and we'll get back to you. But I'm glad you enjoy it as much as we do, because it just brings a
perfect.
smile to my face every time.
All right, we got another email from Mike.
I was gonna play it again, but I figured you don't want to overplay it.
No, we don't want to wear it out. We
You
want
don't want
to
to wear it out.
It's like a great song. You once a day, maybe more than that in this case, but you don't want to wear it out.
Exactly.
Got an email from Mike. He says, "Hey, help desk friends, thank you all for informing and entertaining us on the weekly about tech and games. I'm starting a podcast myself and have been researching different hosting platforms. I was curious if you had any recommendations or even tips regarding things I should look out for in a platform. Anyway, thanks for all the great info and keep up the great work." Mike.
Well, my first suggestion is only get into podcasting if you love it. If you're doing it for fun, for the joy of it.
Yep.
So that's the main thing.
It's very hard to get an audience.
Exactly.
It's very hard to go pro with
Yeah,
it, like
yeah.
to make money off of it.
So get into it because you love it, not because you think you're going to make a career out of it. We have been doing it since 2016, by the way.
8 years.
So
That's a
8 years
long
this year.
while.
Yeah.
Yep. I just looked. And anyway, so now that part aside, hosting, there's a lot of options out there hosting, and
Arguably too many.
and that's the thing is I picked one and stuck with it 8 years ago, and I haven't looked at anything since then.
There are better options. We looked into this when we were first starting to mess with Patreon and putting up perks and tiers, and Podbean is who we hosted on. Do we still
We still use
post?
Podbean, yeah.
But there's some others out there that. So I just compare the perks, compare the
price.
access. Yeah, the price, but like also what type of RSS feeds they have and stuff like that for
How-
interconnectivity.
Exactly. How easy is it to tie into all the
To
different
integrate.
services like Spotify and
Well,
iTunes and all
And not only
of
that, but if you're another thing, I don't want to leave unmentioned. If you are a nerd and like to do nerdy things and like maybe have a home lab or something of that nature,
Yeah.
maybe consider rolling your own, because at the end of the day, all a podcast is just an RSS feed that points to files. That's
That is
it.
correct.
So
However,
Podbean and things just give you a lot of really niceties to make that super simple.
exactly. You also need to consider though if you have any sort of data caps, because
Yeah,
if you're going to
because
host
it's
it at
coming
your
out of
house,
your house. Yep.
every download is gonna count towards your data cap.
Yep.
So
Yep. But
That's
you could do
another-
a VM or something like that on Azure or AWS
still-
or
you
something
still
of that
they
pay to-
nature.
still charge you
you
every
still pay
time
to
you
play,
move
right?
data.
Egress charges for sure. But I mean,
Yeah.
just
Power.
That's
there's
what I
lots
mean.
of options.
There
That's
there
what you
are,
get.
and I am a creature of convenience, and so something
Well, and
like-
that's
Plus the
the
way
other
those
thing.
they lay them out good. They got a good interface, like to go look at them and stuff.
all I have
so-
to do is take the edited file, upload it, give it a title and a description, and it click
The thumbnail?
Yeah, that's
Once
the other
it's
thing
set
worth
up,
mentioning here
yeah.
is once you do it for about a year, the repetitiveness gets really, really old. So the more you can automate and the easier it is, then the less friction there is, the easier it's going to be for you. So at first it's like super fun to like research and figure stuff out and like how do I do this and what do I do that and blah blah blah. But then you do it for a year and you're like, I hate this. And then you want to ask Tony. He's the one that has to deal with this every week and week in. It's probably the least favorite part of the whole gig, is editing the file, uploading the file, putting the description in, title, blah blah blah.
It's like a
Which-
relationship.
so-
It starts out great, and the longer you're in it, the worse it becomes, unless you truly love it.
See, and that gets back to what we said first. That's right.
There you go.
So yeah, I would say that the most annoying part for me is it's not even the editing of the audio or anything like that. I still enjoy that. It's the setting up of the description and putting all of the notes and everything in the description. I have to do that in like 5 different places because we have Patreon, we have Podbean, 2 episodes on Podbean, we have 2 episodes on YouTube. I have to do them all by hand because I don't think there's a tool out there that would do that for me.
Automate that.
Automate that on all the different platforms with all the different accounts and everything. Maybe there is, and I'm just, lazy. But anyway, there you go. Do some research. We like Podbean, but yeah, like Owen said, compare the different things that they offer and the different price tiers. So, or go super geek and build it yourself, like Lando said.
If you got the scratch to handle the data in and out,
Yep.
Or like for me, if I have, because I'm going to go fiber, if I had a server, it would be pretty easy for me to do it at home.
yeah.
Yeah, as long as you don't have data
unlimited-
caps to worry about, then
Yep.
Yep.
easy peasy. So, all right. Well, thanks for writing in, Mike.
It was a fun
Anything
one.
else? Jaron? Any other emails?
What do you want from me?
Jesus Christ.
Happening?
First, I want you to focus.
That
Are
was
you
good.
playing games?
Remember that we're
No,
on
I'm
a
not.
No,
we're
he
doing
was
a
just
podcast.
spaced. He was just spaced out fully. It was great.
That
He's-
1,000-mile stare going.
I was looking at this big gulp skiff you sent earlier, Owen, and
It's great,
it
huh?
was sucking the
Mesmerizing you?
soul out of my body. Yeah.
Good gulps, huh?
Obviously.
Well,
See you later.
No more emails.
So, Jaron, do we have any more emails?
No, I said, what do you want from me? There's nothing left.
I want you to tell me there's no emails, Jared.
I thought you meant there's nothing left up
Be
here.
clear.
Whatever,
None of
however
that
you want
was
to interpret
clear.
it.
All right, on to the different stories that we have here today. Lando almost did his homework and has one story.
So hold on.
He had
Hold-
to, but he deleted it.
He deleted
had
one. I
to.
saw it.
But the second one was just lazy, and it was not podcast quality. So I said I would rather have no story than crappy stories.
And I said, that's an Owen story. Do it.
It was an Owen story, but I'm not. I'm better than that.
Owen, how do you feel about this?
I'm sorry. What?
Yes,
happened?
perfect.
Like I just realized I'm in the 2023 folder. I'm like I have the wrong notes up. This is not good.
Here's what's
we
going
go.
on in Owen's head right now.
And Jaren's, for that matter.
And Jaren's, yeah.
Tony and I are carrying the show.
I just need to
Well,
make
we
sure
know
my
that's not
notes-
true. It's Tony.
Hey,
Nope.
hey now.
Lando's putting in his fair share of paying attention and following along with the conversation, unlike you two.
Yeah, I'm defending myself and my lack of story.
All right. Let's see. You know what? Let's talk about the Vision Pro stuff because we had a bunch of reviews come out last week that we talked about, and there have been additional thoughts since then.
A lot more reviews have come out. I've had more time to look at the reviews, more time
Yep.
to think about it. And I think largely I agree with what I said last week in that it's overpriced for what it is.
Yeah.
However, I may have been too harsh on some other things.
Yeah.
Like the display quality does seem next level. I really want to experience that. It looks awesome.
Did you watch the Jerry Riggs everything teardown
The
video?
teardown, yeah.
Not teardown,
Yeah.
but like
Well,
durability test.
I watched 40 seconds until I heard the horrible sound of the razor blade against aluminum.
you don't
and,
watch
like,
his.
I can't do it
That's
anymore.
it. I'm
He
out.
does it in every phone durability test. You don't watch them, do you?
No, I don't.
I
Oh,
really
okay.
like them, but
Well,
I
this,
love them.
he is 100% like an Android person. He tried to switch the iPhone, couldn't do it.
Yeah.
Hates Apple and their lack of repairability. Like he dogs on Apple pretty hardcore, but he actually like overall had some really interesting opinions. I thought that were really really good, and I agree with. And those being, it's a first gen product and it has all the signs of a first gen product.
Yeah.
With that being said, there's a lot to look forward here, and it really is revolutionary.
I don't know if I'd use that
think
R word quite
it-
yet.
It has the
Potential.
potential to be a revolutionary line of products.
Eventually.
Agreed.
As of right now,
I
Yeah.
agree, but if you look
Like-
at if you remember back to like the first iPad or the first iPhone, they were both kind of like cool, but not quite there yet. You know what I'm saying?
No, you're right. First
and-
gen for sure. And the two things that really stick out to me are the screen quality and not the lens quality, but the screen quality and the software that places everything in virtual space just so well that it doesn't wobble at all. It remains perfectly affixed to where you put it.
Yeah.
cool.
If you walk away, come back, if you ever used VR before, that idea is pretty amazing because I haven't seen that in a VR
There's-
headset.
I saw
Yeah,
an
did you see
interesting-
that? Did you see those where they're putting like timers over different pots and stuff?
Yeah.
I'm like,
That's
what in
super
the
cool.
black
The guy
magic?
he had like a TV affixed on one wall, and an internet browser on a different wall, and a YouTube browser over his oven, like all around his kitchen and living room. And depending on where he would go and what he was doing, different displays were happening. So it's just
Yeah.
like he mounted TVs on his wall everywhere. It was
I,
pretty cool.
I think Apple's main mistake was the whatever it's called, the front display that other people can see. They spent way too much engineering dollars on that, and I'm sure it's driven up the per price, the per unit price for sure.
Well, that plus they I think they over advertised it. They
They,
overpromised on it.
yeah,
You know what I
over advertised, over promised. It looks creepy. No one really likes it. I haven't seen a single review where it's like, "Hey, that's cool." Everyone was like, "Why is this here?"
mean? Yeah.
But have you gotten one and driven with it yet, Jaron? Have you gotten in your Tesla with one of these yet?
Yeah, I got in my Cybertruck and put it on, and
That was you in the video?
That was you in the video.
it was right in front of my office. I was
could
going
see,
to work.
I could see your office in the background. Must have been you.
Yeah. No, just kidding. I never buy a Cybertruck. Those things are hideous
Yeah, they are.
most of the time.
I think they're cool looking.
So anyway, like the front display, it's too heavy. All that still applies, and it being way too expensive. But again, I think there's some
got
really
potential.
cool things too.
So I
And
saw a really
I'm
interesting
excited to
take
see
on
that.
this, and there's been a lot. And the take was this: there's a lot of comparisons between this and the Facebook one, the MetaQuest Pro, whatever it is.
MetaQuest Pro,
Quest
MetaQuest 3.
That one, yeah. So there's a lot of comparisons, but in actuality, they're kind of two different products for different purposes. And not only that, but the MetaQuest 3 has had like 10 years to try and get to where it's at now. This is Apple already there or past there on Gen 1.
I wouldn't say
Taking-
past there.
No,
I
no,
wouldn't
not
say-
when you
and-
look at cost. They're
Well,
not
taking
even
cost out, right?
close.
But like experience and like feature set and like what it does and how it works. Like
No, I wouldn't say
this
that
is a
either
first-gen
because
product and it's just
They're-
it's
they're
just
built
the
on
same
one of
or
the
better.
main appeals of a VR headset is gaming, and Vision Pro is nowhere close to.
I don't.
being-
So I don't think that's why they're different, right? They're not the same product, and it's hard to compare the two things.
You just said we could
because
compare them.
People do, but my point
You
is,
you just did.
you're right. I did.
Yeah, well,
The point
what's
is, like,
going on
it's
here?
Apple's not trying to make a gaming VR headset. That's not what they're after here.
They're trying to make an entire ecosystem.
The same way the iPhone is.
Meta is trying to do that
Better
too,
for worse.
but obviously their focus is more on gaming.
Yeah.
So I kind of agree with what you're saying.
Well,
But-
What?
But also,
You agree?
the way to grow that market is going to be with games.
It is
100%.
That's why
You're not
Meta
gonna-
did that, right?
Yep. You're not
because
gonna
like they were like,
attract- you're not going to attract an average
No.
schmo user for
Well, you're
an
not gonna-
expensive headset.
You're not
Yeah,
going to
look at their
average
Quest- look
Schmo
at their
user
Quest
price
Pro.
point anyway.
look at their Quest Pro, or the HoloLens, like
Yeah.
Those did not do well.
And the
Those not
same
well.
thing happened with the Quest. Was it the Pro, the $1,500 one they
yeah,
had for
right.
a little bit?
There was
Yeah.
like, this is for corporate, and they're like, pass. But
Yeah,
when you do one for
man.
gaming, you get people that are
They
interested.
sell,
That
you
you
know?
know,
yeah,
so
the problem Meta has though is convincing people not to use it for gaming, whereas I
Yeah.
think Apple has the opposite problem.
yeah.
Well, and then
Yeah.
the other aspect of it too is with every other headset out there, or almost every other headset, you get a direct, nice connection to your computer to do almost whatever
Right.
you want with it. You don't get that with the Vision Pro.
Well, the Vision Pro
Locked out.
is a computer.
Yeah,
It's
but
trying to be a computer.
exactly, trying is the
And
key
it
word
w-
there.
Yeah.
You know,
I think there's
it does-
signs that it is and signs
might-
that it will be.
Well, I was going to say it might be eventually, but right now it's not. So I mean,
Right.
that's the issue with your statement that give them a pass because it's their first gen product. But
I'm not
you
trying to say give
can't-
it a pass. I'm trying to say look what the future could be.
What worries me though, it's based on iPad OS, and
That's
iPad has had 12, 13 years, 14 years, I don't know how
Right.
long, to make it a actually useful device to work with. And I had to work with my iPad for a couple hours this morning because my laptop was down. It is not a productivity device. And
But it says Pro.
yeah, the Vision Pro apps, they better be a huge step up from like iPad apps. There needs to be a file system if they want this to be an actual
Minimum.
productivity device.
Why is
Not-
the file system the thing that you need?
Why?
Because
would you
I
not
deal
need
with
a file
hundreds of
system?
files
I didn't ask you,
a
Tony.
day.
But answer my question. Defend your statement. Why would you not need a file system?
Are you reading my statement? I'm wondering why that's the thing.
I have hundreds of worksheets I have to go in
Yeah.
and out of every day. I just
They're
could
all
not,
Excel, so why can't they just be files inside of Excel?
because
No,
it
not
is a
the
pain to
iPad
open
does.
up Excel, click the open button in Excel, try to find the folder I want every single time. I just want a window open of where
Is it
my
pain,
file
or
structure
is it just
is.
different and you don't like it because it's different?
I just
Sounds
told
like-
you how many more clicks it was.
Sounds like a lot more steps.
Yeah.
I think it's a Jaren thing personally, but
Well, I think I won that conversation.
sometimes I gotta be the devil's advocate a little bit. Jaren,
Just comes off sounding like a fanboy.
I am, but I am. I don't work
No
on
doubt.
I don't work on an iPad. I want to. My dream is to work on an iPad. That's my dream.
Like, if
Just
you're a
single
writer
buttons.
or
Well,
like your workflow isn't that complicated, yeah, I could see it working out for you.
here's the thing: if Apple really wanted you to be able to work on an iPad, they'd put Mac OS on it, because all you'd need is Mac OS and their magic keyboard.
Yeah, but
and
then it's just a Mac.
That's
Why
exactly
would I just buy
my
an
point.
A Mac that
It's
point.
exactly my point.
They don't want you to think that. They don't want you to know that. That's
Yeah,
don't,
so
don't,
Vi-
don't say that.
They even uses the same chips now.
It does.
The same
It is.
CPUs.
Yep.
But the problem is they're showing the Vision Pro as a productivity device, and
Right.
it's not even close to Mac OS. They're basing it on iPad OS, which is not a productivity device. So this is the big question mark for me. They're not focused on gaming. They're not truly focused on productivity.
So what
Like,
is it for? Just
it looks cool.
entertainment?
Don't get me wrong. Like
something?
watching movies
Well,
on it sounds amazing,
here's-
but
Go
what is
ahead.
it for?
I would almost say that I don't even feel like they're pushing it as a productivity device as much as they are pushing it as an entertainment or a media consumption device.
Right.
They really
I haven't
want
got
you to
that from
watch
Apple.
movies.
More
on
like
it.
a life aid, you know, just a
Yeah, it reminds me a lot of the way that Microsoft advertised the HoloLens at first. You know, quite a bit like that. Maybe not quite as AR
I hope not, because
focused.
that was horrible.
Yeah, Microsoft flopped on that one for sure.
Well, the Tim
But-
Cook's trying to leave a legacy, so he'll make this work. Come hell or high water.
You have great faith.
We'll see if
Yeah,
Tim's-
we'll. I mean, the thing is, here's the part that caught me off guard. Is last week when we were talking about it, even this week, we were kind of like ho-humming it. Jaron, looking at you. However, the people actually who have got their hands on it and people who I thought would be pretty negative on it haven't been. Like the jerry rig
Well,
everything one
it's
was
the
really
honeymoon
surprising
period.
to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those ones where I think
He said he used it for an hour, though.
it's true, but
and then he broke it.
That is definitely the honeymoon period.
yeah.
that's fair. But
And he
there's been
wasn't
a whole bunch of
reviewing
people
it,
doing
so
that same
I-
thing too, where it's just like that's what
Like,
gives me a little bit of
it's-
pause here. Until
like
I've
I
actually
said,
got my hands on
it
it.
looks cool. It's just what are people actually going to use it for? If you're a single person who doesn't mind watching things alone, that sounds really depressing.
Wow, yeah, you're just.
I'm
painting a
sorry
picture here.
but like if you ever want to watch something like with other people, it doesn't work for that.
Just
buy
It's
another one.
it's a very limited use device.
Just buy
right
more
now.
than one. See it. So I watched the Stephen Colbert's monologue, and he was talking about it. He's like, I got to play it, and he's like, I just don't think my wife is going to be okay for me to spend $3,500
And
to
he's
buy
rich.
to buy something to help me be with her, but not with her.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Yeah.
So
And again, this is Gen 1, and
Right.
if they make improvements to the operating system to make it more like Mac OS, if they add games, yeah, it'll be a pretty awesome device. What are you gonna
Time
say,
will
Tom?
tell. Time will
loading.
tell.
That's what we need. Side loading.
If
Well,
only.
you can bring your Mac into it, right?
One screen.
One screen. That was the weirdest thing. I was like, wait
Yeah.
a minute, one screen?
I hope they enhance that in
And
the future.
hopefully
too.
they unlock that. Because there's no reason why they can't. But anyway, yeah, we'll see. I think it's got potential, but it's. I think the ideas are outpacing the technology at this point.
I agree.
So.
I want it to work out really bad, and I want it to be cheaper. I want to have one.
Oh, I think
but I
it'd be
cannot
rad.
justify it
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all
for
at the
sure.
current cost point.
I think it would be cool if it took
Cost
off.
point, price point. What
Price
am I
point.
saying?
Also, it would just put more competition out there in that marketplace, and that's always good. You know?
Yeah, and it has stagnated a bit
It has. Yeah.
before those.
All right. Let's see. Let's talk about finally some vindication on Comcast. Stupid Comcast.
They're the worst, aren't they?
Yeah. Like 2 years ago or 18 months ago, they started with their ridiculous advertising for their 10G branding. And we talked about this, where it
still
looks
makes me
like
laugh how dumb
it's
it
saying
is.
10 gig connection. And I think I ranted about this for like a solid 10 minutes, so I'm not going to go over it too much, but Comcast is finally discontinuing this baloney Xfinity 10G network branding to describe its internet service after
Were they
Good.
sued?
yeah,
They were probably
National,
sued.
Yeah.
National Advertising Review Board found that the term could mislead customers.
You
Oh,
think?
Really?
I
Yeah.
got the 10Gs.
And
What they didn't know is they were talking about gravity units.
Yeah, 10
gravitational.
Yeah, they said, let's see what it say here. The NARB panel found that the term could mislead consumers into thinking that Comcast's cellular and broadband services would offer much faster speeds than current generation networks like T-Mobile, Verizon, etc. And it's like, yeah, that's exactly what they wanted to do by
What did
branding
they-
it like this.
How did they defend themselves originally by saying 10G? What's the G stand for?
I don't think they ever did.
Like that's bizarre to me. Like obviously if you're saying 10G, you're talking about the speeds, right? Not the version. This isn't this isn't internet 10G.
It was
know?
like nebulous enough just to be confusing and
Yeah.
lead people astray because people are just like, oh yeah, I got 4G on my cell phone. 10G
Well, I think-
must be better.
Yeah, and I think remember 5G Wi-Fi was just coming out, or 5G
5G
micro
cellular.
cellular, and they were like, well, 10 is double 5G, so
Yep. Yeah,
10
exactly.
is like bigger, more gooder.
And then to top it off, though, that refers to their home internet connection on most of the advertising for this, talking about their Xfinity 10G network home internet connection. Anyway, yeah, so NARB has come down on them and basically said, no, you can't do that because it's very, very confusing to the consumer because it looks like it's a 10 gigabit service.
Yeah. You're either stupid or you're lying.
Exactly.
Like, you either don't know how to market this or you're purposely
They
misleading
knew
customers.
exactly what they were doing.
For sure.
100%. So
Yeah.
this is the best. In a statement, this is from the article, in a statement that Comcast provided to the NARB, the company agreed to stop using the misleading branding in its marketing. Quote, although Comcast strongly disagrees with NARB's analysis and approach, Comcast will discontinue use of the brand name Xfinity 10G network and will not use the term 10G in a manner that is misleadingly describes the Xfinity network itself. End quote.
Meaning, you boil that down to, we are on indefensible ground and we know it.
And then it says the company said, however, that it still, quote, reserves the right, quote, to use both 10G and Xfinity 10G in ways that, quote, do not misleadingly describe the Xfinity network itself. So
Stickers
can't
on the
use
router.
it. You can't. Yeah,
It's stickers on the router box.
Oh my gosh. Anyway,
Stickers on the router box.
these
I
freaking
love when
clowns.
corporations like this get screwed on things like this. It makes me so happy.
It does.
And
I
the
love
fact
It
that
sucks, but it's been going for
Xfinity.
5 years though, or something like that. So it's like,
the 10G
How-
branding has been
yeah.
around for 2 or 3 years.
okay, yeah. So
it
I knew,
hasn't
it was,
been around for a super long time.
but still, like 3 years of damage of
Exactly.
Ev-
3 years
all
of
that-
people thinking
of
I'm getting
grandmas
10
being like,
gig.
oh, of people like my dad would have been, was like, yeah, I got the fastest one. I got the one with the most numbers. So
10 G's. So anyway, yeah, it's like
maybe-
that.
I like that 10 G's. Maybe it's referring to dollars. Like, got
10
the G's.
I wish they would actually get, in trouble and have to pay money though. This is just saying you can't use it anymore.
Yeah,
But
and they're just like, yeah, okay, we'll
anyway,
stop.
at least we're getting rid of that branding because that was just terrible. All right, let's talk about some. Well, speaking of bad branding and misleading information. Oh, and you have an article here about the 2024 election coming up.
It's coming up,
Oh,
and
no.
we talked about this a little bit.
Oh, no.
And Jaron, you haven't been listening to the news. You said earlier.
Yeah,
So
I'm
let's-
going to start a year
I'm
from
gonna
now.
I'm gonna stick your head into the ice bath here. No, I'm not. We talked about this before when AI was coming out, right? Like, what is this voting season's gonna look like? AI and deep fakes and all of that stuff is just progressing at a breakneck speed.
Yep.
And it's all unregulated. And so as the government hustles to catch up with regulation and laws and detection even, we are at the mercy of these companies being like, please don't ruin life for everybody.
Please stop making life terrible.
Yeah, please don't do that.
Yeah.
And they're like,
here.
no, it's progress. But like Twitter getting rid of its review staff, for all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But Facebook is doing something different. Meta, they will be labeling their AI generated content from OpenAI and Google. They're going to put some metadata into it so that
Yeah,
it can be
that'll help.
flagged.
I was gonna say, will this actually work?
I don't know. Like, who still uses Facebook? That's my problem. Like,
Old people.
Old people.
Exactly.
Which, if
They
it
won't.
works
They
and-
won't notice that
The
tag.
ones that are
they,
most
yeah, the ones that are like, there's a red line at the bottom of my video and it won't go away.
disregard.
Yeah, disregard. So Meta
Probably
is
couldn't see. They probably couldn't read the text anyway.
Uh-oh,
yeah.
Poor
Jared's
eyesight.
approaching ageist territory here.
he's getting close to
I
the line.
can't read text.
He's
Okay.
getting right up to the line, and then you just poked a toe over it.
So and I will say that the generation that is still causing trouble with it's just they haven't caught up to technology. I'm not trying to be ageist. They just haven't caught up for the most part.
The fact of
And
the matter is they haven't been exposed to it for their whole lives like the younger generation.
Right.
So
They're not as
They
savvy.
might not know what to look for.
Yeah. And
Way to make
Facebook
me
is
look
still
bad.
and
Jeez.
Facebook is still the go-to for that for the previous generation, I would say. Like my parents, like they still are on Facebook primarily. And anyway, so they're going to be putting some labels on to stop that from to curb it. I don't know. But it really relies on these other companies agreeing to do that. Like, how do they know something was uploaded from OpenAI? I mean, they said they can't do text. It's been proven pretty thoroughly that you can't completely detect AI generated text.
Right. Yeah.
It's too creative. It's too human. It whatever. But images you can. And so they're Microsoft, OpenAI, Adobe, Midjourney, Shutterstock. They all they're hoping they all have plans to implement a watermark on there. Meta does a watermark already. Says created by AI. And they put that on their images created by their bot. But so we'll see. I don't know. Election season's coming up. We talked about this, I think 2 or 3 years ago when we first were talking about the Unreal Engine 5 and what it can do and that deep fake stuff. Like, we'll see what that we've already
Deep state stuff.
Deep state
Freudian
deep
slip.
state.
Whoa, Owen's a part of
I
it.
know, sorry.
Get that tinfoil hat out. Put it
Well,
on.
we just had somebody, the what's the communication with FTC? The FTC just shut down
FCC?
FCCs. Thank you. Gosh, there's too many F's around here.
Nobody gives an F.
Yeah, nobody gives an F about. Anyway, they just shut down those 2 botnets in Texas that were deep faking Biden's voice, telling them not to vote or whatever, like not to come to the polls.
Gosh.
So it's already happening. So we'll see if this maybe curbs it. I'm not super hopeful just because Meta or X seems to have just abandoned any type of propriety, and
Free speech.
Yeah. So we'll see what this election cycle is going to look like. I don't know if Twitter can take another black eye in that way. Like, if it comes down and
Twitter. Yeah, you're right.
yeah, I don't know if it can take another black eye in the fake information, because they took a lot of crap last election cycle.
Well, and Taylor Swift's against them now, so they don't stand a chance.
Taylor Swift's going to save us.
Is she going to
Let's
say?
I
elect-
hope so.
If anyone can, it's her.
I
Let's
love
elect
Taylor
her.
Swift and Travis
Let's
Kelce so much. My wife drug me into that, and I can't stop following it.
Why?
I don't know. She explained the whole thing
is
to me,
it?
and I love it.
What?
She's so happy,
you
and
know what?
she
Never
and
mind.
she's finding
she?
a
Do
boyfriend
you-
who's
do you
taller
know
than her.
that?
It's such
Have-
great. It's so good.
Or have you only seen like short snippets of video and pictures?
They look happy, and that's all that matters.
On TikTok, everyone says they're happy.
Yeah.
Well,
She's done the math. She's
and
gonna
you get
make
more
the Super
and you
Bowl.
get-
Okay, we're gonna have the Super Bowl winning kiss.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. Damn
Well,
it.
and you just get so many more views of the box up there at the stadium with
That's
her in
right.
it. Like,
You know what's funny about that
They
is
don't
that
even need to go to the fans anymore. They're just like, let's go get a shot of
Just
Taylor.
to get a shot of T Swift.
They
over
they
there.
did a like how much actual screen time, and it was like 30 seconds worth of screen time in a 4-hour game. Like, it was nothing.
Yeah,
But
but how
everyone's-
much would
everyone's
people?
complaining
How
about
much would people pay for that in ad revenue? That's like $4 million for an ad that's 30 seconds.
How
Or
much to
more.
buy?
Especially during Super Bowl.
Yeah,
How much to buy a poster to put on the window of the
Yeah.
box seats that
yeah.
she's
There
on?
you go.
She's in.
Yeah,
Yeah, embrace the marketing. Like, so Southwest
right.
did that when, as soon as they knew that the Chiefs were going to the Super Bowl, Southwest released an ad saying how Taylor Swift is going to make it from her concert in Tokyo to
Yeah.
Las Vegas in the Super Bowl. It was a
Yep.
great piece of marketing.
All right.
Wow, what a rabbit hole that was.
Well, we talked about sports and sports bros. They can
boom.
be very happy
Get up.
because
Get on
Baseball
it.
season's coming. I'm so excited.
there is a Hulu-like service that's coming where a bunch of different companies, Walt Disney, which owns ESPN, Warner
Fox.
Brothers, and Fox. Pretty much all the major players except for Universal that have sports networks are going to come together and release their own app, their own joint venture.
We will have reached peak cable a la carte at this point.
yeah.
Yes. So you can finally, you'll be able to, starting, it sounds like this fall, coming fall 2024,
That's
you'll
not
be
for
able to
baseball.
download one app and see almost all of your sports.
Doesn't YouTube TV do this like already? Like, I know I've
Well,
heard.
YouTube
Yeah.
TV just gives you regular ESPN, regular
Yeah.
sports
That's
fall
like,
channels.
that's like streaming cable.
It's just cable over the internet is what it is. What YouTube TV is.
Yeah. So does it say anything about blackout dates? Because that's the biggest problem I have right now. Is I pay MLB like $150 a season to watch all the MLB games, and it's awesome, except for the mother freaking blackout dates in my area. And because we live in Utah, we get blackout dates for 2 teams, not just one. It drives me crazy.
It doesn't say anything about blackout dates.
I hate blackout dates.
What are blackout? What's the point of a blackout date?
So because we're supposed to be watching them on our local stations and our local networks. So because they're on blackout dates, I can't watch them on MLB TV through their app because I should be paying for cable to watch them in my region.
Oh, that's some baloney.
Yep.
Bull crapola. I hate it.
Yeah, it's really stupid.
It's really, really stupid. And because we live in Utah, we get blacked out for Diamondbacks and for the Rockies. So anytime my teams play those teams, I can't watch the games.
What's your teams?
San Diego.
Sorry, man. I really
Anyway,
feel
I'm
for
pretty-
you. Anyway, they will have
You guys don't
sports
care.
from NFL, NBA, baseball, MLB, NHL, college sports,
I will happily pay for
PGA.
that during
You'd
the
switch.
baseball season.
soccer, Formula
how much
One.
do you-
There's no blackouts.
How much do you pay for MLB now?
It's like $150 a season.
$150 a season. You would pay that for this
So
app?
this app would have to cost less than $12 a month for it to be worth it for you.
I would pay more than $12 a month if I could get past blackout dates.
Oh, okay.
I'd pay $15 a month. I mean, and the thing is, baseball games, there's a game on every single day almost.
It's true.
There's
You get your
so
money's
much
worth.
baseball to watch.
Well, there you go.
It's not like NFL where there's only like 5 games a week. It's nonsense. NFL's stupid. Baseball's where it's at.
Take
Seems
that,
hate-
football.
Things sounds like that escalated quickly.
I have strong opinions, and I will tell them.
He only cares about Travis Kelce and his girlfriend, Taylor Swift.
They are so sweet. And Travis Kelce's podcast is actually pretty good. Him and his brother.
I love the mini feud between Travis Kelce and his brother and the two bears, one cave with Tom Segura and Bert
Bert Kreischer.
Kreischer.
Yep.
So good.
And what's his name? Jason Kelsey's wife is on the podcast, and she's so good on the podcast.
What have we
Anyway.
turned into?
I don't know.
I don't know what's happening this show, but it's
Let me
You
bring
got
it
this-
back around. Let me bring it back around.
There it is.
Doesn't say anything about blackout dates, so that's a big question mark still. However, it's cool that it's finally coming together. It won't have Sunday Night Football because I think it's a universal thing.
There's yeah.
which is
But
the best football. If you're gonna watch football, Sunday Night Football,
It's-
supposedly it's like Friday Night Baseball.
It's
like the
progress.
night to watch.
Well,
A cave.
speaking of this,
Oh, I hate this. What is
we have
happening
something
this
Jaron
show?
put on here about poop bacteria.
Oh man, I saw this one.
yeah, the poop bacteria is coming for us, and we can do nothing about it.
We can play Doom on it.
I think we talked about this a couple months ago about you need to close the toilet seat, or else when you flush it, the poop particulates shoot up and get everywhere in the air, right? Well, it turns out that's still true, but
It didn't change, huh?
Nothing changed.
no, nothing changed.
The physics haven't changed.
The
Physics
problem
are
is
physicsing.
closing the lid doesn't seem to stop it.
Oh no.
Yeah, like how
So
is
it
this
seems
possible?
Seems like there's a market here for
gotta
an
help,
airtight
right?
toilet.
Or maybe
no.
we can sell like saran wrap to put it over the toilet bowl.
No,
whenever
it's, you put it on the side of the toilet, the whole roll, and you just pull it up and put it over. Each time after you're done pooping,
That's ridiculous.
you finish up with what you're doing, and you saran wrap over the hole, flush,
Until
and
the
then
night
take
comes. And
the
you and
saran wrap
your half
off.
drunken stupor
And then you
walk
touch that
across the
saran
room
wrap.
and pee on the top of
Just
the
make
saran
sure
wrap.
you
It goes
don't
everywhere.
don't put it on first.
And don't forget to take it off, because next
Don't
time.
forget to take it off because
Don't
if you're
forget-
in the middle of the night who's half asleep going to go and pee.
Yep.
I just want to know how this bacteria gets through the seat.
Air.
How?
Air,
There's
man.
air gaps. Are you
There's
kidding
air
me?
gaps,
There's like
yeah.
a half-inch gap on
Well,
toilet
I am
seats.
extremely disappointed, and I am more
do you do-
freaked out than I've ever been before.
I have a solution.
So I think the solution is just to take your toothbrush out of the bathroom, right? We need a whole room
No,
for
they-
toothbrushing now.
They say that you should use Lysol between like every time you flush it,
Like the spray.
There's like this Lysol thing you can get inside that helps disinfect it, but also cleaning it like every single day.
Every single day. I'm screwed.
I mean, honestly,
Get it. I got
normally it's not too big of an issue unless there's norovirus in your house, which spreads extremely easily.
Oh yeah, we just had a round of that.
Oh, so you experienced the
Oh,
floating
it
poop.
was
It
was
the
so great.
The saran wrap is a good idea for you.
No, I have a better solution than saran wrap. Weather stripping. Put weather stripping underneath the seat. So when you
I'm
do
just
close
gonna-
it, it creates an airtight seal.
Yeah, I got you one better.
Imagine
Just
the
stop
gunk
pooping.
that would get in that, though. How would you
Yeah.
clean it?
Replace it. Just replace,
Every time you clean the toilet?
Sure, why not? Weather stripping can kind of be cheap.
Just hold it in.
Just never poop.
Just don't poop
Yeah.
anymore.
Okay.
This has been a very upsetting story, Jaron. I was happier not knowing this.
E. coli
It's-
can
I
pass
I love
this.
this.
E.
I
coli,
love this story.
E. coli
my
can,
favorite.
Do a button presser?
can ugh. Every time
Tony?
you look at your
That's enough, son.
Every time you look at your toothbrush, do you think of E. coli, Jaron?
No,
do
see-
you just look at it and go E. coli.
I don't know why you guys don't. I mean, well, I guess it's different in every house, but every house, in my opinion, the bathroom should be built with a poop closet. You
I have a poop closet.
You have to have a poop closet so that everywhere else in the bathroom is fine. You can close the door on a little room with the toilet in it.
But
Your
you're
poop
gonna have the same
closet.
problem with the poop closet, right? You're gonna flush the toilet, and between the
Yeah, but
time you
you're-
flush the toilet and you close the door to the poop closet,
And all that
poop
bacteria
air comes out.
All that bacteria will just latch onto you, Tony. Then
Yeah,
you are
you
the
put-
poop closet walking around in the whole
You're like
house.
Pigpen with a dust cloud around you. You have poop particles. It gets everywhere.
You just step out quick. You flush and you step out quick and you leave the fan on. It blasts the poop particles out of the
Yeah.
house.
I think UV.
You know?
I think UV
Super
lights
duper
need to be
fan.
installed. You got to do
Super
UV
fan,
lights.
UV
and-
lights.
UV
Oh,
lights.
UV lights in a toilet.
That's a good idea.
That's
actually.
it.
Owen.
Boom.
Got it.
Unless you have actual poop
That's my idea.
that the UV
Let's do
light
it.
Got
can't
it.
penetrate.
Good job, guys.
Oh, Owen can
UV lights in
penetrate
the
anything.
toilet.
Test
So
me.
you
Let's start a
penetrate
business.
this.
Take a running. I got a running start for
Patent
that
it right
one.
now.
Tony, that's enough.
More farts, Tony. More farts are needed.
I heard the call for more farts.
I like that some of them were like grunts.
Nice.
All right. Thanks for bringing a poop story, Jaron. I love it.
That's the first and last one.
It was upsetting, and I hated
Are
it.
you kidding me? That is not even close to the first one.
had a
You
poop
have
story
brought
last
more.
week.
You have
That
brought
is
more poop
the last
stories.
one.
You have brought more poop stories than the rest of us combined.
Before you had a
Jaron.
soundboard, okay?
Even after.
Do you have a Google alert set up for poop stories?
I think he
Who
does.
doesn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
Exactly.
how
Jaron
we got
loves
that-
talking about poop,
that's how
but he
we-
just doesn't like the noise that poop makes.
That's how we got
Headphones,
anal,
Tony. Headphones.
That's how we got
We
the
all
anal
wear
prince story.
headphones.
Remember the anal prince,
the-
Jaron?
That was one of them. Yeah.
Wait, that was me? I thought that was you.
No, I
No.
think you brought that up, and then I referenced it
Oh, yeah, you're right. That
in
is
front of
Yep.
your boss
That's,
on
that's
Slack.
A, that's a
Yep.
turn. Oh, you're right.
Yep.
Remember?
Anal
Yeah, just-
prints.
This is all
Oh,
true. This is all true.
More farts.
Yep. All right. I don't know where we go from there.
Yeah,
I think that's time,
is
right?
Are you? You're all worn out. All those farts.
well,
I
you
don't
can
want
do
that noise,
something.
but in fart sounds.
You can do something crap adjacent like Elon Musk.
That's true. He is crap adjacent. All right, let's talk about the hubris of Elon Musk. This is absurd. Okay.
More
We-
absurd than he does already?
Yes, we've talked
How is
about
that
we've
possible?
talked about the proliferation of the Musk bloodline. How he has, I think, like 13 kids with several different women. So, his top Neuralink executive has given birth to twins from him. I don't know how long ago she actually gave birth to them, but she was interviewed recently because, let's see, blah, blah, blah. It's, they were asking her about something in Elon Musk's biography where he talks about having multiple children with different women, emphasizing, his belief, that,
Genghis Khan here.
yeah, the need for intelligent people to procreate.
He's not intelligent, right?
That's his thing. He's like, we need more smart people, so smart people should be having babies, so I'm gonna have a lot of babies.
He likes risk. That's different than intelligence.
They interviewed Siobhan Zillis, who is a senior executive
I
at
can't
Neuralink
believe
Corp,
this story.
and she played apparently a pivotal role in this narrative of his, because she wanted to have kids, and so I guess she was talking to him about it at some point, and she was talking about getting a sperm donor because she's single, and basically they came to the conclusion, why don't I just do it for
If
you?
the choice is between an anonymous donor or doing it with the person you admire more in the world, for me, it was a pretty effing easy decision.
Yeah, that's
Duh.
a quote from her.
Yeah, I think they were like rolling some doobies, like, it'd be fun. You know what? But I mean, do you have any chips over there? But do you know what'd be really rad is if you
Impregnated me.
if I had your babies,
Yeah.
because you're smart, and is there no chips? You're smart, come on.
I just couldn't believe this. Like the hubris of a person to think, you know what? I am incredibly intelligent, and we need more incredibly intelligent people in this world. So I'm gonna father as many children as I can.
I
Gonna
am.
pass on that weird chest gene that he has. You've seen that picture where he's like a Cybertruck?
I try not to look at him with his shirt off.
I am not at all surprised by this. I wish I could say that this
Oh,
was
it's not
surprising,
surprising.
but this is the least surprising thing I've heard all day. The most surprising thing I've heard all day is the poop story.
No.
What a like highs and lows type moment.
Yep.
Ugh.
So there you go.
And she said, I didn't think he's gonna be very involved. I chose to do this. I thought he's gonna be more of a godfather, but no. He has been actively involved in their lives.
Now, to be fair,
To be fair,
I will give him props for that.
Yeah.
I have read that he's pretty active in all of his children's lives, and that's good.
Okay, sure. That is good.
Props for that. My favorite thing here, though, is they refer to a tweet or a post on X that he made because he thinks
a great
underpopulation is the biggest crisis.
He thinks that's civilization or humans'
as a
biggest
race.
problem.
dumb.
Yeah.
He says, quote, "Doing my best to help the underpopulation crisis. A collapsing birth rate is the biggest danger civilization faces by far."
Every bro on
By
Twitter
far.
went. Every bro on Twitter went. Me too.
Yeah, right. Let me tell you. The biggest,
It can crater an economy.
yeah, I'm not saying it's not a threat, but the biggest danger to civilization is social media, apps like Twitter, Facebook, TikTok.
Those hubris of Elon Musk.
Those
Like,
are the biggest threats to our civilization. But, I mean,
I
anyway.
digress.
I digress, yes. So, there you go. The hubris of Mr. Musk.
Those kids are freaking lucky though. Got all that money.
Yep.
Do they though? Does he share?
If he leaves it to him,
Oh, true.
if there's any left when he's done. All right, and we will end with Lando's story. We finally know how ancient Roman concrete was able to last thousands of years. Can I posit a theory before I click on this?
Yes, you may.
Does it have to do with the type of ash that was mixed into the concrete that
No,
reinforced?
it does not. That
Is
was
it
a
rice?
theory
Is it
for
rice?
a long while.
That was the theory for a long time. Yeah. So what
Yeah,
is
so
it then?
here's the thing with ancient Roman structures. There's like things like the Pantheon has been standing for
It's
thousands of
amazing.
years.
It's
and
crazy.
it's unreinforced concrete, right? So concrete today is enforced with or reinforced with things like rebar
Yep.
to help make it stronger. And especially big concrete structures that need that to help it last a really long time. And it's quite the engineering feat that the Pantheon, for example, is one of these ancient Roman structures made of cement that is unreinforced. It's like mind-blowing. And for the longest time, we haven't known exactly why until now.
They took their secret recipe with them. Jerks.
To the grave.
Yeah, them and the Egyptians, right? So it's called. I'm gonna mispronounce this, so just bear with me.
What you crunching on there, Owen?
That's an almond. I'm sorry about that.
I'm trying to do my story here, dude.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna munch on your stories.
Go ahead. I don't have any left.
This is the pozzolanic
I didn't think I was gonna come through.
concrete. I don't know if, like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong.
We'll go with it.
And the contrary to previous beliefs, the Romans did not use slacked or select lime in their concrete, but rather mixed quick lime directly into pozzolana and water at high temperatures. It's the high temperatures, Tony.
Yeah.
That's what made
This
the difference.
hot mixing technique produced compounds that improved strength and reduced curing times. It also
And
resulted in
self-healing.
limestone clasts in the concrete that gave it self-healing properties. Owen,
Well, and that's another thing that
They know a
you
lot
didn't-
about concrete.
One of the things you didn't mention about this concrete is they have piers and things that have been sitting in the
Yep.
on the
Ocean.
shores of the
Yep.
Mediterranean Sea and are still there and haven't just been worn away to nothing.
So the lime they mix in, they say that that's the self-healing part as a crack form,
Yep.
which will always happen. That lime that got hot mixed releases and basically seals the crack and reforms.
That is wild.
self-healing. So anyway, this hot mixing technique, along with the self-healing properties, are what explain the long-term durability of these Roman concrete structures, even after 2,000 years of weathering. And the coolest part about this, Tony and Owen,
Reproducible?
reproducible.
So we can finally have highways that don't degrade.
Yep, this is cool. This is cool sciencey stuff. I thought this
Mixing
itched my itches in all the right way.
mixing like future science with
Past science.
past
Yeah.
science with archaeology.
It's
Archaeology.
our powers combine. Let's go.
That's rad. Very, very
Anyway,
cool.
I thought it was very cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
See, high quality stories I bring to the podcast, Tony.
That was I like
You
that
had an
one.
S at the end of
Yeah.
that word. High quality story.
Yeah.
There's only one.
There
yeah.
we go.
That's fair. That's fair. I deserve that.
You're both right. Yeah.
All right. No, that was really neat. Because I still thought it was the ash. So there you go.
Yep. So did I. When I saw the story, I'm like, wait, what? We know it's
Yeah,
something
we
different.
already
And
figured
then I
this
read it.
out,
I'm like,
didn't we?
oh, yeah. Nope, we hadn't. We have now, and it's reproducible.
Nice.
That's the cool part.
Yep. All right, that is the end of today's episode. But before we go, big shout out to our awesome Patreon backers, patreon.com/helpdeskarcade. Yeah.
Nice.
And if you donate $6 a month or more, you get a shout out on the air, which Jaron has for us right now.
Big shout out and thanks to David Broshinsky, Connor Keesaw, and Wiffleball Tony. Thank you. Charlotte Holmes. It's the in between. There's no N for some reason. Andy Bird, Beat the 8-Year-Old. Travis Johnson, buy Geekshow Arcade Helpdesk stickers at Pieman Graphics on Etsy. All proceeds go to Lee George Cade's medical bills. Jeremy, No Name, No Color. Kesselo, Eric Steinman, Eric Cruz. Owen has tech cred -3.
Oof.
Ooh, -3.
Dash. Remember? It's Dash.
Dash.
Oh, right.
No,
Dash
it's-
3.
He said minus.
He said minus.
The word says minus.
Matt Nelson, Harry Patch,
I don't believe that.
Adam, Aaron
wouldn't do that
Faulkner, Stuart Lloyd. I get you a toe.
What?
I want at least 2 of those.
I need a few. I've only got 10. I'd like more
Yeah.
than that.
Ryan M. and Adam Hecht.
All right. Thank you so much, Patreon backers. You are awesome. All right. That's the end. We have reached the conclusion of another episode. Thank you so much for downloading us. Thank you so much for making it this far. And we hope that you download us again. But until next week, Lando, take us out.
When typing a very important email, be sure to press the caps lock key so that people know that you're serious. Be an end user.